morning, guys. It's Miss Madia here with another tutorial video. So this one is going to focus on the step of the research process that is called the CRAAP test. So I'm going to scroll down and find the CRAAP test here. Should be your assignment for today, which is Thursday. All right, so you see here it says the CRAAP test. It has the magnifying glass next to it. So when I click on the CRAAP test, this is what shows up. It's due today. There's a pencil here and a paper clip. So if you click the pencil, this is where you get the actual assignment. The paper clip has the attachment, but it's also linked in the actual assignment. So you don't necessarily have to use the paper clip. All right, so let's talk about the actual CRAAP test assignment. The purpose for it is to help you evaluate research sources. So it says when you search for information, you're going to find lots of it. But is it good information? That's our biggest concern. So we can use the CRAAP test to figure out if the information, the sources that we find, is reliable, if it's accurate, if it's going to work for the purpose of our research paper. So if you look at the attachment, you have some criteria of the CRAAP test, and then you have a section of the assignment where you're going to apply the criteria, and you're going to actually check a source to see if it's accurate. The reason we're doing this is to practice our analysis and our evaluation of sources before you put together your list of sources for your actual research paper. All right, so follow the steps below to complete the CRAAP test. The first thing we're going to do is open the attachment. You can either do it with the paper clip, or you can click anywhere that you see CRAAP test in blue. That means the assignment is linked there. I linked it multiple places so that wherever you are, you can click on it and it will work. So once you do that, it's going to pop up down here. You're going to open the document, and I would go ahead and save it to my desktop. So I would click my little disk with the pencil. I would do save as, maybe CRAAP test. I like to save it to my desktop just so it's easy to find. And then I'm going to choose save. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is actually complete the assignment. So if you look over in the left, it gives you some criteria to help you evaluate your research sources. The reason we call it the CRAAP test is because it stands for currency, relevance, authority, accuracy, and purpose. And you'll notice that under each of those categories, I do provide some questions for you to answer. Now, when you come to the right side and you are actually applying these criteria, you don't necessarily have to answer every single question, but you do want to look at most of the questions and use them to evaluate your source. You may miss a question like, has the information been revised or updated? Well, if it was published 20 years ago and it has never been revised or updated, but it does require current information, it's not going to be a good source. If you find a good source that answers maybe these first 4 questions, but the links aren't functional and you can't access any of that information, well then it's not current, so it's not going to be a good source. So you want to look at all of the questions for each category. When you go to evaluate it and jot down whether it's a good source or not, you don't necessarily have to answer all of those questions. The key is that you do have to answer them specifically. So for example, the question here, does your topic require current information or will older sources work as well? When you answer that question, you don't want to give me an answer like maybe or both or yes or no. You want to make sure that you elaborate on that information. Has the information been revised or updated? If you say yes or no, you want to make sure that you follow it up with some more specific information. Yes, it was revised in 2016. So you want to make sure that you provide a little more elaboration for each of these criteria. This is a way for me to make sure that you understand how to choose good sources and that you know that you must evaluate sources for their relevance and their authority and their accuracy and their purpose and whether they are current or not. So this will be our first step. We'll practice using the CRAAP test, and then you will move in and start finding your sources. And for each source that you find, you will apply the CRAAP test to make sure that it is a good source. So once you've filled in your chart on the right, you want to make sure that you come up and save your completed CRAAP test assignment. You can just click the save button, or if you want to go ahead and rename it, you can do CRAAP test completed and save it that way. Alright, but now you have to submit it to me. So we're going to minimize this. When you're back on this screen, you're going to do show Dropbox. And then you have, I can't go any further because I'm not a student, but you will submit it, you will attach it, and then that's it. I get it. So I'll give you some feedback. You may also have realized that I have adjusted the settings of all of your research assignments so that you have to complete one before moving into the next one. We have it set up specifically where you do the steps one by one, and we hope to be able to give you some good feedback, and that way you know if you're doing it right before you move to the next part of the research. So if you notice that it's not letting you jump ahead, that's why. Alright guys, that's it for today. Let me know if you have any questions.